Hey guys, it's Miss Chavez again, and today we are going to be working through the Wordly Wise Lesson 5 word list. Again, our focus, as always, is on context clues and being able to correctly infer the meaning of unknown words. So, our first word is antic. It's a noun. So, our example sentence is the antics of the clown made the crowd roar with laughter. And real quick, let me just move my video over. That way it's not in the way of like other words. So, antic, as we said, is a noun and it means playful or funny act. And it's usually plural. So, antics, meaning their actions, that those actions are playful and they're funny. Our second word is attire, and it can be a noun or a verb. And our example sentence is one often needs special attire to be in a wedding party. Attire as a noun means clothes, especially fine or expensive, hence why they use the example of a wedding, because usually when you go to a wedding, you buy some fancy clothes, you have the bridesmaids' dresses, the tuxes, everyone wears suits and dresses most of the time. Um, I know it's getting more popular for people to do like themed weddings or casual weddings, especially since COVID hit. And attire as a verb is to dress up or be dressed up. For example, this is business casual attire. So this is something that like you might see the teachers wearing. Usually the women are wearing a nice blouse. They've got some dress slacks, closed-toed shoes, no flip-flops, ladies, no Uggs either. For men, it's usually, dress slacks, dress shoes, a belt, and your belt color has to match your shoe color. So if you're wearing black shoes, you have to wear a black belt. If you're wearing brown shoes, wear a brown belt. A sweater or a button-down shirt would be just fine. Our third word is captivate, and it's a verb. And the example sentence is the cast's superb acting captivated the audience. All right. The definition of captivate is to please greatly, to win over by special charm. Captivate. So when you watch a movie and you're captivated, you're drawn in, you're engaged, you are hanging off of the edge of your chair to see what the hero does next. You are captivated. Our next word is deft, and it's an adjective. A deft juggler can keep 5 or more objects in the air at one time. Deft. Okay, and the definition of deft is quick and sure, skillful at handling. So this little clip of this juggler, I feel like is a great example of a deft juggler. She's a very skilled, she's doing multiple tricks. She's not just doing the usual shuffle. She's going all sorts of places and she doesn't drop it once. She's very skillful. She's very deft. Our next word is diligent. It's an adjective, and our example sentence is diligent students succeed in reaching their goals. What does a diligent student look like? So, diligent means working with great care and effort. So, making sure that you are paying attention to details, you're getting your assignments and things done, and that you are really paying attention and putting in the effort to have good answers, even if they're not right, but just that you tried, you know, diligent. Our next word is eclipse, and it is a noun and a verb. Our example sentence is her latest novel eclipses all her previous work. Okay, eclipse as a noun is the total or partial hiding of one heavenly body by another. Now let's DTT the term heavenly. So, heavenly in this sentence is referring to planets or anything to do with astronomy. So, for example, when the sun eclipses the moon eclipses the sun, Earth eclipses the moon, etc. Anything that's going to partially hide those heavenly bodies from our view. And eclipse as a verb is to do or be better than, to outshine, which is what is meant by our example sentence, that her latest novel outshines all her previous work. And so here we actually have a picture of the process of an eclipse. You can see, we're going to assume the dark one is the moon since the light is coming from the back. So we're going to assume the light is the sun. So the moon is coming and slowly eclipsing or covering or hiding the sun. And then it comes out of view. Our next word is evolve, and it is a verb. Now, if we change the suffix to be evolution, that changes it to a noun, and it's going to change its meaning just a little bit. Our example sentence is, the evolution of aircraft from the Wright brothers' flimsy plane to the modern jet airplane occurred over an incredibly short time. All right, so evolve as a verb is to develop and change gradually over time. Whereas evolution, when we change the suffix to have a tion, is going to mean the changes that take place as something evolves. So to evolve is to change, but what is changing is the evolution. So here we have a model of the evolution of airplanes. So this is the Wright Flyer from 1903, and it looks greatly different from the modern airplanes of today, but you can see the change in transition. Our next word is going to be innate, and it's an adjective. Our example sentence is, the singer's innate musical ability showed itself at a very early age. Okay, the word innate is, like I said, an adjective, and it means having from birth, occurring naturally rather than being learned. So if we look at our example sentence, the singer's innate musical ability showed itself at a very early age. Innate. Her musical ability was not learned. She didn't have any lessons. She wasn't taught in school. She was born with the raw talent. Inscribe. It's a verb, and we've got another suffix change to tion, and that changes it to inscription, and that makes it a noun. Our example sentence is, most of the gravestones were simply inscribed with the person's name, date of birth, and date of death. So inscribe as a verb is to write, print, or etch into as a permanent record. If we add on that suffix, well, I should say we change the suffix from "ib" to "iption," it's going to mean the act of inscribing or what is inscribed. So this is a clay tablet. Maybe some of you have talked about this in your social studies class, but this is actually a really early form of writing. And all these symbols represent words. And they would use this tool here to press it into clay. And that's how they would write. And it actually used to be a job. People were professional scribes, and they would get paid to do this. So the act of pressing the marks into the clay would be inscribing. The marks that were left on the clay would be an inscription. All right, next we're coming to posture. Ms. Chavez has bad posture. I tend to slouch a lot. But posture can be a noun or a verb, and our example sentence is, you can improve your posture by throwing your shoulders back. That makes you sit up a little bit straighter. So, Posture as a noun is the way one holds one's body, a pose or position. As a verb, posture is to assume a particular position, especially a pretended one. And here we have an example of all the incorrect postures or positions that you can have your back in and what your back should look like. All right, then we have shroud. It can be a noun and a verb. It depends on the context clues. And our example sentence is, the dense fog on the river shrouded the tugboats. So, shroud as a noun is something that covers or hides from view. A cloth used to wrap a dead body for burial. Shroud as a verb can mean to block from sight. So, here you can see that the fog is shrouding the bridge. You can't see it, it's hiding it. The next word is stifle. It's a verb. And our example sentence is, the spectators tried to stifle their yawns during the lengthy ceremony. Buzzword, guys, who remember ceremony from our previous weeks? That was a previous vocab word. Good job for recognizing that. And stifle as a verb means to cut off the air from, to smother, to hold back, or to check. So in our sentence, the spectators tried to stifle their yawns during the lengthy ceremony. Stifling a yawn. You're trying to hide your yawn, trying to keep it under wraps, smother it, cut off the airflow. You're smothering it. You're stifling it. Our next word is tentative, and it's an adjective. Our example sentence is, the deadline is tentative and may be extended. Who remembers what extended is? It's a previous vocab word. That's right, extended means to lengthen. Tentative as an adjective means not fully worked out or final, hesitating or uncertain. Our next word is tranquil. Sorry guys, really on this time. Our next word is tranquil. It's an adjective, and if we add an ity as the suffix, it becomes tranquility, and it becomes a noun. So our example sentence is, the sea was tranquil with no hint of approaching storm. So tranquil as an adjective means calm and peaceful, whereas tranquility as a noun is the state of being calm and peaceful. So here in this image, we can see that this water is very tranquil. And we know that because the painter didn't paint a bunch of waves. There's no ripples. There's maybe some water movement because all water moves, but it's tranquil, it's calm. On the flip side, if you were to be in the boat on this lake and you felt that peace, you would be feeling a sense of tranquility. Our next word is versatile. It's an adjective, and if we change the suffix, it's going to become versatility as a noun. And our example sentence is, she is a versatile musician who can play 8 instruments. Ooh, 8 instruments. That is a lot of instruments to know how to play. So versatile means able to do many different things or to be used in many different ways. Versatility as a noun is the state or condition of being versatile or being able to be used in many different ways. So this instrument has a ton of instruments in it. Here you can see we've got our standard 6-string guitar, we've got a soprano ukulele, we have an alto ukulele. I believe this is a bass ukulele when it goes straight down that way. Not sure what they would call this instrument, but to me it looks like a Swedish dulcimer. anyone knows what that is. So this instrument is very versatile. It can be used to make several different sounds and used in many different ways depending on how the artist wants to use it. All right, that was our word list for Wordly Wise Lesson 5. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions if there's something you want to see in these videos that you're not seeing. And of course, if you could leave us some celebrations, we love hearing it. One celebration that Miss Chavez has is I just moved into a new apartment and I'm super excited about that. So that's my celebration because it was an easy move. I'd love to hear yours. And as always, continue to use these vocab words in our live discussions and throughout your readings. You, of course, can always drop them in the chat or shout them out if you happen to come across them during our live chats, because we love when you guys can recognize that and you use these in your everyday life. So, without further ado, we are all done. You guys have a great day.